So, I may have learned between episodes that you can get keys in this castle somehow. Somewhere. So let us see if we could find where we can get them. We head back to Rimmeltar and find that cave nearby where we find the next clue to our progress. In the store? This is just the guy that says a hero wouldn't steal, right? Kind of also want to boot up the NES version just to see the differences in dialogue. Well, I did just save. Are you trapped? Go to the town of Garenham and push against the wall. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I've already done that. Went into that dungeon and promptly got myself destroyed. Just completely demolished. Oh, wait, I gotta take off the preparing sticker. Bloop. There we are. Hey, popcorn. Got about half an hour before I can clock out. And head home. All right. So you're watching at work? I think I used to have like one workplace that would let me do YouTube and gaming at work. Not at the same time. They wouldn't let me stream at work. Then again, I don't think the technology for streaming was quite available. At least not available to me anyway. Oh, this has got to be the key seller. Yeah. I think they're more expensive here. Still, cost of convenience. It's like serving up keys like they're drinks. One more for you, sir. Another. Would you like another? I looked up the names. I'm also going through Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, and I looked up the names like, why is this called Red Slime here, and then She Slime in later games? And I thought it would be some like obscure Japanese reference that just wouldn't translate to English, and they couldn't decide what to localize it as or something like that. I mean, the latter part seems to be still correct, because the name of the red slime in the Japanese versions, across all the Japanese versions of Dragon Quest, is just Slime Beth, or like Slime Bess, which is interpreted to be, like, the Beth part of it is interpreted to be the Hebrew second letter, so effectively Slime 2, or another slime. So it's so mundane. It's so mundane that they called it red slime in some localizations and she slime in others, and I think she slime is now the English canonical name for the red slime. So we just eat all this swamp damage. On our way down to... oh, right, and the light spell. Radiant! So what is your relationship, Popcorn, to the Dragon Quest franchise? I remember you mentioning that you played 1, 2, 3, and 9 and 11? Or basically everything except 4, 5, 6, and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 11. Dragon Quest picked me up when Final Fantasy let me down, basically. Ah. When I was little, I couldn't get into any RPGs. I was very picky about what games I liked, and I wanted to play only shooting games, but shooting games where you could shoot down your opponent's bullets. And I mean, like, all their bullets. You didn't have to do any dodging. As long as you were shooting, as long as you were constantly shooting, you didn't have to dodge. As long as you were shooting well, you didn't have to dodge at all. And I don't remember any of the games that I actually liked. Like, I mean, of course, I liked, like the popular stuff, Mario and Zelda and all that. But yeah, when it came to new games, it was really tough to get me into something like Contra or Double Dragon, unless I was specifically just playing 2 players. How do you get the chat text on the screen? Oh, yeah, there's a little secret I'll show you. I'll link you in, I'll link you on your Discord. But yeah, it's something that I recommend to all my streamer friends. I think maybe if you just, if you want to search up Septipus Chat version 2, you might get the link to the page that I use. Or to the, it's a page that generates a CSS script for you. And yeah, you customize it on that page, and then you copy-paste the script into your OBS. Yeah. Like, I'm using it on OBS. Anywhere where you can use a web page source for your chat window, and then inject some custom CSS into it. And then, like, the page gives you some customization, but I added a little bit more of my own by actually writing the CSS directly. So... and I think you might want to, like, it's got a limited selection of fonts too. You might want to provide your own if you want, like, if you want to use, say, oh, what's a good like, Quicksand's a popular one. It's very readable. So you might have to provide your own copy of Quicksand and a link to it. So we are in Rimmeldar, so someone here tells us that a cave near here gives us our next clue. And I've actually, like, I'm behind on, like, everyone's playing the Dragon Quest HD 2D remakes, and I'm like, I kind of want them, but at the same time, I've got, like, a big backlog of games that I want to get through, and I cannot justify getting them. Plus, I'm pretty sure Square Enix is going to make all 3 games available in a bundle at a discount at some point, so it might be worth waiting. You know what I mean? I just hope that if they remake Dragon Quests 4, 5, and 6, they don't do the same thing. Like, like, HD 2D remakes might be okay, but the reason I could never get through Dragon Quest 6 is because when it finally came over on the DS, I had sunk like 100 hours into Dragon Quests 4 and 5 on the DS, and getting into Dragon Quest 6 just feels like I'm going into an old game that's worn out as welcome, you know what I mean? That's how I feel about the FF7 Remake Trilogy 1 bundle. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm waiting for them to do that as well. So this Goldman, I want to fight it, but it keeps destroying me. Can I make it sleep? I can't. 16 damage. At least I go faster than it, so maybe I can just alternate healing and... I'm gonna have to do 2 rounds of healing. Okay, it's sometimes faster than me, so I need to be faster. I need to heal when I'm 2 hits away from death, in case it goes first. Are you defending? Oh, no, there you go. Hey, our first Goldman. Tiny EXP, but lots of G. I still don't know where this cave is that I'm supposed to find. And I think my mental map of this area is totally gone. Another one! Like, I don't really need the money, but, I probably will. Eventually. So as long as I'm at 32 or above, I should be okay. That was a lot faster than last time. Ah, this might be it. This might be the shrine I'm looking for. Kinda want to just savor this music. Loto's seal? Huh. Okay, where do I find Loto's seal? So this was not where I was supposed to go right now. I did not get a warp wing. Just gotta trudge my way back to Rimmeldar. Hope I don't die on the way. These things hit just as hard as the gold ones. Ow! How could you die? Yeah, sure, we'll save. So I certainly have enough keys. There is someone in somewhere around here. I think that also heals you to full, though I think the king heals you to full when he revives you as well. Info? Yeah. Might as well find who it is. Yep, got some torches. So where do I find Loto's seal? Oh, there we go. So I'm on a quest to somewhere where I don't know. Maybe it's in that tomb. That tomb where I got destroyed. Maybe I'm strong enough to take them on now. The spooky. Even though they're called ghosts now, I still just want to call them spookies. Like the first couple of monsters, slimes, drakies, and spookies. The E at the end just kind of makes them fit into a set. I mean, not the slimes, but drakies and spookies for sure. Although metal slimes in this game are called metalies for the namespace limitations. Oh wait, this was something I didn't need, was it? It was like a medical herb or something. I still didn't get a warp wing. Let's go back to town and get a warp wing. That lady in that room there berates you for wasting a key on her. Can I upgrade my weapon here? So I have an axe. I can't get my weapon can't get any better. My armor can. So my leather shield. Just the 2 pages of items. Let's grab a couple of warp wings. And how much space do I have? I have space for 2 more things. So 1 warp wing and 1 whatever treasure I find in the dungeon. 1 Loto's seal. Warp wings here. Wonderful. Okay, so I have 2 spaces for whatever I find in the dungeon. Huh. I kind of vaguely remember that flooring. I think the first RPG that I could actually sink my teeth into was Phantasy Star 2. And that was partially because of the music. It was very... I want to say it was mesmerizing. And then, like, the anime style, and the relatively smooth animations of all the sprites. After that was Final Fantasy VI. And then... after a lot of convincing... some friends got me into one of the Dragon Quests on NES. I don't remember exactly which one. I want to say it was 3. And I got some ways into 3 before getting lost. And then I got into 4, and I actually finished it. And I got, like, I would try 1 and 2 every now and then. But I would never get so far as to actually finish them, or even find out what the main overarching plot was. I mean, Dragon Quest 1 is obvious, it's just the one quest. Although I did always find it funny that, that there would be a narrator, like, constantly speaking in faux medieval talk. Paper Mario 64 was the first RPG I finished. Alright. Yeah, not a bad choice. It follows that... I kind of feel like Paper Mario was Intelligent Systems' first attempt. Well, first attempt at a couple of things. For one, making a 3D game, because I remember there being talk about them having crazy trouble with, like, a mainly 2D crew trying to figure out how 3D worked. And for another thing, Fire Emblem had a really high gate of entry. Like, you had to be super into RPGs if you wanted to get into a Fire Emblem. So they made a Paper Mario to appeal to a more wider audience. And yeah, it seemed to work out pretty well for him. And, like, you can kind of, if you had been playing Fire Emblems up till then, you'd kind of notice that they carried over their, like, the old Fire Emblem, rule, which was 100 EXP to level up at every level. and the amount of EXP you gain depends on the difference between yours and your enemy's levels. It's a nice way for a player to gauge how far they are to the next level, and whether they should be going after stronger monsters, but it does feel a little bit bland when you're used to, like, I don't know, you're at level 98 in other RPGs, and you're like, okay, I need several million EXP to go up a level. I better start hunting some rare monsters or something. And you just don't get that kind of... I guess you get a different kind of gauge when you're playing an intelligent systems RPG, as opposed to a more conventional one. I really should be using the Radiant spell rather than Torches. Torches should be for a last resort. I guess getting rid of one torch is a good idea. Yeah, the way that the game would be generous with its uses of these and thous. I always found amusing. Okay, I vaguely remember making my way some distance into this dungeon before, I think, dying? So I guess it's a good place to grind up and occasionally just repeatedly die to get back, because I don't have the... Or maybe I'll learn the outside spell here. I think my axe is dealing more damage than the Fire Bale spell. This area looks kind of promising. We have some fancy flooring. Some water. Ooh. I'd say it's a little bit above and beyond that NX would animate your sword strikes in this. What was even more impressive was that they animated the enemies in the third Game Boy Color game. But yeah, you don't just have a single sword strike, you have a different animation for each weapon you wield. And that's something like, considering the first game didn't even have sword strike animations, or I don't think it had any battle animations, not magic, not weapons, nothing. And then, yeah, remaking it, they did weapon animations, and then going up to the third game, they have weapon and enemy animations. Oh, I just wasn't keeping track of my health there. At least he doesn't get angrier and angrier every time I die. I'm semi-confident that the dungeon in Garanham is where I should be. Oh good, I'm not the only one who dies when streaming. Oh yeah. I mean, our attention is split, and... like, I would prefer, if I could just stream all my games while I played, I'll eat the cost of having a split attention for it. I kinda hoped that this would show up on the NSO service. I mean, it probably still could, because this has this super primitive version of Dragon Quest has its own appeal that no amount of remakes and remasters can bring to the table. I swear my luck is halved when I stream. I'd say mine's about the same, maybe a little bit more extreme. Ooh, I am spending keys to get in here, so I should probably keep track of those. Some dude keeps entering our town, going into the tomb, disappearing and reappearing at the edge of our town again, just showing up at the town border again. Think we should stop him? Nah, he's got his own thing going. Alright, so at level 1... Level 1 the enemies are basically nothing. Oh, what's this? This is the level 3 Drakkies. Good thing I can still swat him out of the sky. One thing I would like a remake of, though, like one thing that would go straight onto my, like, buy immediately list, would be a Dragon Quest Swords remake or sequel. Like, I can still play Dragon Quest Swords for now, but eventually that old hardware is gonna wear out. Maybe a Dragon Quest Swords and Kenshin Dragon Quest bundle. Kenshin Dragon Quest is the plug-and-play TV... Yeah, the Wii game. But Kenshin Dragon Quest is the plug-and-play TV game that doesn't have a console, and it has like this... not sparkly, but like somewhat reflective sword toy, plastic sword toy. And the plug-and-play device is shaped like Loto's shield. And you put it in front of your TV, and it basically acts like a Wii remote and sensor bar. And that's what gave birth to Dragon Quest Swords. DQ Swords also has my very favorite Dragon Quest battle music of the entire series. It's just so action-packed. Composed by Manami Matsumae, who did some of the Shovel Knight songs and a lot of Mega Man, I believe. The story's not too bad either. Like, being a straightforward game, it's probably not among the highest tier of game writing, but it's not bad. It's better than one might expect for something that's effectively an arcade game. That makes me wonder about the one Castlevania arcade game with the whip that you actually swing. See, I'm pretty sure that stairway leads to a dead end. How's my health doing? Not bad, but how fast does it go down here? I think I checked that one before. Dragon Quest 1 and 2, I think, are the ones that really strain your mental mapping ability. Okay, this looks like a relatively simple floor. Like if there's a pattern here that I'm inferring. Dead Knights. How much damage do you do? 20! Yeah, that would explain... And you're fast, too. I think I'll die here. Maybe I can sleep you? Nope, unaffected. Once we beat East 10, we're gonna play Dragon Quest 11. Alright. Have you played it before, or are you going in blind? Right, I gotta buy some more keys. Played it before, mostly blind for wife. Okay. Yeah. It's... I get the strong impression that while they were developing this, they wanted to make this closer to Akira Toriyama's other stuff, specifically Dragon Ball, more than any Dragon Quest could be. And I feel maybe they went a little too close to Dragon Ball for for me. I felt like I was practically playing a Dragon Quest Dragon Ball crossover, you know what I mean? Does the wife like Dragon Ball? No, Toriyama. Yeah. I really should check out that other thing. I think it was called Dr. Slump. That other Toriyama work. Makes me worried for 12. I don't know. I'm gonna be optimistic. I think the change-up could be a good thing. There's this one albatross around Dragon Quest fans' necks. Around all Dragon Quest fans' necks. And that is that the composer has gone on record to deny Japan's war crimes or something like that, and they kept him on. But, well, now he's dead. So, so for the longest time, Dragon Quest music, the Dragon Quest soundtracks have just casually been referred to as lo-fi beats to deny war crimes too. But now maybe that's not such. Now that's not such the case anymore. I mean, depending on who they've got for composing next. I believe Sega is currently suffering from the same thing. Well, not the same thing, but a similar thing with their... Someone on their staff is, like, not just confessed, but bragged about an essay thing they did. We shall see. It's been a minute since that title was revealed. Yeah, it's been quite a while, actually. But, I mean, there's lots of games to get through. So I don't feel in a hurry to see Dragon Quest XII. Like, they ought to take their time and make it something super special. I mean, 12 is kind of an auspicious number for a lot of people, I'd say. I mean, like... It would be my dream, or at least I would have a really good impression right off the bat if they brought on Manami Matsumae because of Dragon Quest swords. I'm guessing Yuzo Koshiro's the shoe-in, though. Yuzo Koshiro did a lot of PC 98 RPGs. 12 was the Final Fantasy that turned me away, so it'd be cruel irony if that was the same case. I could see why. 12 changed up a lot of stuff. The visual style, the battle, well, I mean, if you played FF11, maybe the battle style wouldn't have turned you away so much. But definitely the visual style, the rules, they brought on, what was his name? Yasumi Matsuno? It felt tedious to me. Yeah, and the game incentivized tedious play with that chain system, too. You beat a monster and a chain starts counting up, and you have to beat like 99 of that monster, and you get a whole bunch of good rare stuff, but it was so boring. And of course you'd fill out your license plates. License plate doesn't sound right. License board? License card? You'd fill out your licenses. You'd have a license to wear a hat. As I remember one of the complaints about that game being. You need a license to wear a hat. Actually, that was something that bothered me about Yasumi Matsuno's previous work, Final Fantasy Tactics. That you only have... Everyone's brain only has, like, 2 bits of data, 2 bits of space. They can only know 2 things at a time. And one of them is how to use items. How to drink a glass of water. Or how to throw a rock. Whereas, say, in Tactics Ogre, everyone knows, well, at least in the Super NES version of Tactics Ogre, everyone knows how to throw a rock. Everyone knows how to drink a potion. The class skills are whatever you've learned plus whatever spells you've learned. Like, the only downside is, I think, each spell takes up an entire spell book, and a spell book takes up a slot in your pocket. So you can only hold maybe 2 spell books, and then a sword and a shield, or something like that. Or maybe a healing herb, a spell book. Wait, no. No, I don't remember exactly how it went. And I know I'm conflating it a little bit with Ogre Battle 64, because in Ogre Battle 64, every squad has 10, I believe. No, wait. You can have 5 people, up to 5 people in a unit, and each of those 5 people can hold 2 items. But anyone can use anyone's items. Anyone in a unit can use anyone else's items. But yeah, in Final Fantasy Tactics, everyone has a bag of holding. Everyone has a shared bag of holding that links to the same place. But they have to devote a special... like, they have to devote half their brain to how to use items. Or how to throw rocks. Yeah. Basically taking the Final Fantasy Tactics guy and having him direct a mainline Final Fantasy. Probably not the best idea, but I guess it didn't really hurt the series as much as, say, 13 and 15 and 16. Man, there were so many video essays on how bad 15 and 16 were. I mean, even without the video essays, that they were doing a 4-person party, all men, all guys, felt like a step backwards. Just that alone, you know? And then the strong push between 15 and 16 to have Team Ninja do a lot of the work. Like, I like Team Ninja games, and I liked the old Final Fantasy, and I liked my JRPGs, but you just... it feels like they're on purpose trying to alienate their audiences, you know? Couldn't get into 15, felt like it was spread across a manga, anime, movie. Oh yeah, it was! They split their attention across multiple media. Mm-hmm. And I remember playing through, like, I got the Pocket Edition, the version that they got out on Switch, and the game sort of steers you into picking passive abilities and just holding the attack button, holding the confirm button to win battles. And I learned later through one of those video essays that it's the same in the full version of the game. Including in the very, very final battle. You just hold A or hold X to win. And even when you're dying, you can use a Phoenix down on yourself, which is kind of the downside of having like only one playable character, is that what happens to Final Fantasy's Phoenix Downs? Well, they become something you use on yourself when you're about to die. Oh, the dreaded Dead Knight. Maybe I could just power through it. I can. 3 hits. Oh. What's happened here? Last FF I enjoyed was 10. Yeah. I got through 10. I got through 10 with Very Random Butterfly. I think my connection between my Game Boy Player... Let's see here. Is the Game Boy Player still working? Okay, the Game Boy Player is working. So the cartridge hardware might be wearing out. Let's... It's a good thing that we can save every time we die, so I haven't lost too much data. I went through 10 with Very Random Butterfly, and we went through 10-2 together, and 10-2 was her first Final Fantasy, and she told me that like, she managed to get through it, but I could not. Like, and they... It feels like they're trying to, like, it feels like 10-2 was... Whoops, that was not right. It feels like 10-2 is marketed towards me, like, a straight guy, because, like, there was some basically very obvious horny appeal to it. But, I found an uncommon monster at the beginning. A dragon. The dragon takes up your entire party space, and it takes out all enemies with like a tail swipe. So I'm like, this is basically an instant win for every battle. So I started going through the game, just maining this dragon, and I think a Kierl, which has instant death abilities and some immunities that the dragon doesn't. So I started going through the game like this, completely ignoring the class change system, the costume change system, and I eventually just got really bored. Because I was watching a very slow movie play out, and I was just really checked out by the time we got to, I think, like the third area. Like, normally, for most RPGs, I could, like, I could sit through an RPG story. I could watch those, like, YouTube uploads of just, like, game the movie, where it's just all the cutscenes stuck together. But I just wasn't interested in what happened to these characters. I feel like they were leaning on sex appeal so much that once you took away the sex appeal by recruiting the dragon, all of the appeal of the game was gone. Wait, south of here? Far south of the town of Domdora, the innkeeper treated me well. I wonder how he's doing. I don't think I've been to Domdora before. Let's see if we can go to Domdora. Also, I vaguely remember that we're supposed to find a flute somewhere, too. But first, let's try going to Domdora. How many keys do I have? 2 keys. Yeah, I'd better fill up on those. So, crossing a bridge, enemies level up. What do we have here? Oh, I've seen you before. I really appreciate how fast you can scroll the text here. Playing through Dragon Quests 4 and 5 on the DS, and even 11. And having to sit through, all children of the goddess are welcome at this church. How may I serve you, my son? Confession, save. So confess to me all the things you have done, and allow me to write it in this journal. And which journal shall I write it in? Then you make your selection, and then you hear the jingle, and then, would you like to continue your adventure from this point? Don't accidentally press B. Although they do let you press B to get out of that menu in 11. But I think in 4 or 5, if you press B and say no, then you'll be kicked back to the title screen. But here it's just like you can mash the A button. When you see the king, you'll save, and you'll be done with that dialogue. Do you think people would be upset if they got rid of, like, if they used that kind of fast save in Dragon Quest XII? I think there would definitely be some complaints on Reddit, at least. Maybe Twitter. But I want to say that the Dragon Quest audience is probably on the uptick, so newer players, the newer players getting into it, would probably appreciate the faster saves. Ah, that's probably not Dondora, but it is someplace new. What could there be here? Treasure? Maybe a seal of Loto lying around for me to pick up? Internet would certainly take the opportunity, yeah. There's always gonna be that guy, and the internet is full of that guys. On that note, it is that times. Happy streaming. Alrighty, have yourself a safe trip home. Because there are easy enemies around here, I feel pretty safe in exploring this area. Pretty secure in that I should be around here. Just gotta find a way out of this little zone I seem to be stuck in. There's clearly more dungeon to be had. So they were called Eiders here, but lunatics in later games. Skellies and Scorpios. Aha, treasure. Some G's. How many do I have? Enough. Probably should look into upgrading my equipment. Maybe at Rimmeldar. So the current plan, maybe go to Rimmeldar, then go to the Garenham tomb. Go to Rimmeldar, upgrade equipment, go to the Garenham tomb, hopefully find the Seal of Loto, then go to that shrine south of Rimmeldar and show that seal to the dude. Aha, progress. The Droll drones didn't change their names that much since the older games. I wonder what their deal was supposed to be. Low-level mage? Low-level high-defense mage? Maybe just another funny-looking thing. Wait. Was that everything down here? Let's do another tour of the place. Feel like I didn't see everything. Is that? I'm confusing myself. Okay, if I just go around this outer area and just end up at the start, then there must be some internal details that I'm missing. This seems like the DQ1 equivalent of an underground prison. The torch. So I guess I was supposed to be here much earlier. If I'm finding torches. It's hard to believe this battle music actually grew on me. It was so just weird and like it didn't sound battly at all back when I first heard it on the NES. It was ridiculous. It sounded silly. But now it's iconic. It's almost like a waltz. Okay, now I'm definitely confused. Was this the stairs I came in on, or was it that other one? This was the stairs I came in on. Alright, so go up the other stairs I find. Guess I just wasn't paying enough attention that other time. If only the Radiant spell could get even more powerful. I wonder if they discussed illuminating the entire screen and then at one step shrinking to this size and then the next step shrinking to torch size. And again, maybe torch size was plenty back then. Or maybe not enough people complained about it. Alright, another down. Wait a sec. I used a key unnecessarily. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's this one, so I can skip it. Alright, let's try following the internal geometry. That looks like a special room. Let's try to get into there. Is it sealed? Oh, no, there's an entrance. What's this? What luck! You've obtained the strength seed. Let's just use what we would have got here. Let's discard that torch. Brrp. Not too shabby. So we've got some torches, but... We got some torches, we got some stat seeds. Oh, we got a freeze. Oh wait, it's just the reset button. I think I will have to look up a guide on how to get the Seal of Loto, because I am pretty lost on where to go. So I will do that, and maybe get back to this next time. So thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you then.